Good morning. Barry Bryson here. Thank you for joining me for another 5 good minutes with the Word, continuing our study entitled Four Women, in which we're looking at the four women who are included in the genealogy of Jesus in Matthew chapter 1. And we just finished talking about Tamar, um, last time. And so today we're going to begin by talking about Rahab. And we'll talk about her for a couple of days. Um, Rahab Rahab's name never appears as just Rahab. She's always Rahab the harlot. Always. She's always Rahab the harlot, even after she's been brought into the fold of the community. You know, she's Rahab the harlot. In the genealogy um, of Jesus in Matthew chapter 1, um, she's only called Rahab, not Rahab the harlot, but she's called Rahab the harlot so many other times that, we hear that in our heads anyway. In fact, in Hebrews chapter 11, chapter 31, the Hebrew writer writes, "By faith, Rahab the harlot did not perish along with those who were disobedient after she had welcomed the spies in peace." So it's a wonderful verse, and there's so much in it, even though it's one line. In the first place, she's there in the Hall of Fame. She made it to the Hall of Fame. A Hall of Fame of faith is what we call Hebrews 11, and it very much is that. And Rahab is there. And of all the things that are mentioned about the wilderness wanderings, there is the parting of the Red Sea, the fall of the wall of Jericho, and the mention of Rahab. And it describes the inhabitants of Jericho not as people condemned for being Gentiles, but as people who are being judged because of their disobedience. She, however, is saved, not by her obedience, but by her faith. That's interesting, isn't it? She's saved by her faith, a faith that acted, a faith that was not something academic. It wasn't something that she just thought of in her head or believed in her heart. It's something that she acted on. And we read about that in the second chapter of the book of Joshua. Joshua had sent out spies, but only two this time, and he'd sent them to see what Jericho was like. And so the people of Jericho know that the Israelites are coming. I mean, you cannot hide 1 million or more people who are camping out within a day's journey of your city. You just can't. And so, as we are told in the book of Joshua, the people of Canaan are terrified of what's going to happen now that this invasion has taken place, an invasion from their point of view. And they know that there are spies, that there are men there, and the king of Jericho wants them. Jericho is the major walled city in the southern end of Palestine, um, and it's perhaps the oldest city, occupied walled city on earth. Um, Almost certainly is, and it was would have been considered nearly impregnable. The way the thickness of the walls. In fact, there was a system of walls, walls within walls and walls upon walls, which we won't go into right now. But Rahab runs a place where men stay and where she offers services, and she's known for that. And so the two spies, if they want to remain inconspicuous, where else would they go? So they go there. But the king knows they're there. But she lies. She tells the king that the men aren't there. She hides them in on her roof, with the sheaves of grain. She says they've gone beyond the fords of the Jordan and sends them off on a snipe hunt. Um, and then she says this to the men she's hidden. So there's no quid pro quo here. She's already hidden them. Let's make sure of this. She didn't say, I'll hide you if. She did hide them. And then she said this, I know that Yahweh has given you the land, and that the terror of you has fallen on all of us, and that all the inhabitants of the land have melted away before you. We have heard how Yahweh dried up the water of the Red Sea. That's 40 years ago, before you when you came out of Egypt, and what you did to the two kings of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan, to Sihon and Og, whom you utterly destroyed. And when we heard it, our hearts melted. and no courage remained in any man any longer because of you. For Yahweh your God is God, in heaven above and on earth below. Now therefore, please swear to me by Yahweh, since I have dealt kindly with you, that you will also deal kindly with my father's household, and give me a pledge of truth. Spare my father and my mother and my brothers and my sisters with all who belong to them, and deliver our lives from death. So the men said to her, Our life for yours. If you do not tell the business of ours, it shall come about when the Lord gives us the land that we will deal kindly and faithfully with you. So they turn it into a transactional agreement. She's just asked. She said, "Please, I, di- I saved your life, so please have mercy on us and just give us our lives." And of course, they arranged for this. The red thread, and um, and we will save your household. And her entire extended family. This is a clan. Her entire extended family are spared, and then they live near the camp, and eventually they're brought into the fold of the camp. And of course, she then becomes part of the lineage. Rahab does. The great grandmother ish. If we have all of the line there right in a row, um, of of David himself, and the matriarch of Jesus, this woman from Jericho, this foreign woman, the second foreign woman to be mentioned in the lineage. Okay, why? Why is this important? And why is she there? I think that's an easier question to answer for her than it is for Tamar, for Bathsheba. Um, so we'll talk about that next time. Thank you so much for joining me for another 5 good minutes with the Word.